how is it going? It's me, Betty Jean. In today's video, I'm officially starting my 2023 makeup collection and declutter series. We are in it. I can't believe it's already this time of year again. I always do my full makeup collection and declutter series towards the end of every year, and we are finally kicking it off for 2023. In this one in particular, we are going over my complexion products, so primers, foundations, concealers, setting powder, setting spray, all of that good stuff. We are going to dwindle it down to the things that I love, the things that I use, the things that I want to keep around, and I'm going to be decluttering the things that no longer need to be with me anymore. Before we get into it, just a few quick things, a few things that I have to say, otherwise I will always get a million comments. But first of all, please do not get offended if I happen to declutter your favorite product. I am so thrilled that it's your favorite thing. It's just not mine, and that's okay. We all have different preferences. I feel like that's what makes makeup fun. Number two, please do not ask me to send you anything. I feel very weird and icky giving used makeup to people I do not know. I give gifts to my friends and family. I donate things that I'm able to, and I just toss the things that are beyond their point of no return. And lastly, do not feel pressured to declutter your collection. If that is not what's right for you, it's just what's right for me. I like to do a little reset at the end of the year. I acquire a lot of makeup throughout the year, and I like to do what I can to get it back to something that I'm just more comfortable with. Also, before we get into it, I did of course film this look. It should already be up on my Instagram by the time this video goes up. And as far as my accessories today go, this is just an old basic choker. I don't know where it's from. And these plugs are Love Kills Boutique. So yeah, without further ado, let's just hop in, go over my complexion product collection situation, and do some decluttering. Okay, hello. How's it going? I'll be honest with you, I did not expect to start filming my declutter series today, but here we are. And now that I have these products laid out, I'm really excited to get into it. Like I said in the intro, we're attacking complexion products. So we're gonna be going over primer, foundation, concealer, setting powder, and setting spray. I have 40 things total to start with. I don't really know what my goal is. I feel like this past year I did a really good job, like not really collecting a ton of products in this category. Really the last few years, like I'm just not someone that feels the need to hoard things like foundations and concealers and stuff like that. I've definitely accumulated some new ones and tried new things out, but I don't feel like I have a crazy overabundance. I do have some things I can let go of, so maybe my goal would be to like cut this down by a quarter, maybe get it closer to 30 products instead of 40. I don't know. We're just gonna go based on vibes. If I haven't used it in a long time, probably safe to say I don't need it. So let's just get started. Let's do primer first. All right, primers. I have 12 in this category. Let's just see what we can do with this. First is this mist that Pixie sent me fairly recently. The Clarity Mist. It's just supposed to help like calm and hydrate your skin. You can kind of use this like as a prep step before makeup, after skincare. I've been using this just for the sake of using it, but I'll be honest, I don't know if it's like really anything worthwhile to me. It's kind of just something to do. I don't think I need to keep this. It's not really giving me anything beneficial to my life. Some glowy ones. This is the e.l.f. Halo Glow Liquid Filter. I love wearing this, especially on like a no makeup day, because it just makes my skin look so radiant and lovely and gives like the slightest bit of tint and hue without it being like a thicker product. I love this. I actually haven't worn it in a long time just because I felt like I was using it a lot and I didn't want to run out so soon, but I need to use this again like soon because this is fantastic. I'm gonna keep it. Also a glowy product. This is technically a liquid highlighter, but I use this as a primer, so I'm keeping it in the complexion category. I either use this as a primer or I use this as like a mix in with foundations. This is the Fenty like Ease Droplet All Over Glow Enhancer. This is the shade Pink Pearl. It's really nice. It gives a nice glow. I don't think this is a good liquid highlighter. I'm very picky about liquid highlighters. I just feel like this is way too subtle for me. It doesn't really act as a highlighter for me. But as a mix in with foundations to make it more glowy and sheer it out a little bit, or to prime the skin with to give a really nice glow, I think this is pretty great, and I've been using it pretty often, so I'm gonna keep it. Oh, the Freck Rich Bitch. This is the one I've been using nonstop ever since they sent it to me a few months ago, and I just love it. I feel like this gives the perfect combination of tackiness and hydration. It's just so good. I'm going to use this until it's gone and then probably buy another one. This is my favorite thing right now. Also, clearly it's almost gone. Been loving this one. They only sent this to me like a month and a half ago and it's already like so low. But this is the Rare Beauty Illuminating Primer. Again, I love this on a no makeup day because it just gives such a beautiful radiance to my skin. And I also love like just wearing it before foundation because it adds such a good glow, and I feel like products sit really well on top of it. It's just such a beautiful glowy product. By the way, for reference, I have normal to dry skin. It's not super oily, it's not super problematic, but it does lean a little more on the dry side. So I personally love the glow, I love the dew. I don't prefer a mattifying look, and this is fantastic. I'm definitely keeping it. I don't know if I'll immediately buy another one when it's gone because I have some other glowy things I can use, but I do really enjoy this. This is the Lawless Set the Stage Hydrating and Soothing Primer. I will be honest with you, I loved this when it came out. Like, I used it all the time, and then I think the Freck Rich Bitch kind of put this one to the side. I use this a lot, and I honestly forgot that I had this until I pulled it out for this video. I don't have that much left, like it's down to like here. So part of me wants to keep it just to use it up, but the other part of me is like, I have a lot of primers, so maybe I should just let this one go since I have things I'm clearly preferring. So I think I will. I think I'll let this one go. It had its moment and now it's over. Oh, the Glossier Future Dew. I think this is my second, possibly third bottle of this. This is similar to the Rare Beauty one where it's just a beautiful glowy product. I love, again, wearing this by itself or underneath foundations. It is so good. I know some people do use this as a liquid highlighter. It's just a little too subtle to be a highlighter for my preferences, but I love this. This is almost a full bottle. It's fairly new still, so I'm definitely keeping it. This is definitely one of my top favorite primers of all time. This, the Freck Rich Bitch, and the next one I'm about to talk about. This is the Milk Makeup Hydro Grip, similar to the Freck Rich Bitch in the sense that it has tackiness and hydration, but it's like two totally different kinds of tackiness. This is more like stickier, if I had to put a word to it, whereas the Freck one is a little more like putty-ish. It's so hard to explain, not even putty-ish, almost slimier. It's really hard to explain, but I love them both. This is probably my like third or fourth bottle of this. I love this stuff. It's some of my favorite ever, so I'm gonna keep it. This is clearly an unopened one, and it's mine for now. Clearly I've hoarded miniature ones. I'm like, so crazy. Like, part of me wants to keep these because I'm like, what about travel? Like, I should have travel size ones, which is true. I do bring these when I travel specifically because they're small. Like, this is the one I've been using because it's half gone. Maybe I don't need this many though. Maybe I'll give my friend this unopened mini, and honestly, I probably don't need this one either. Oh, the struggle. I think I'm gonna keep the medium-sized one and I will declutter the two miniest ones because I don't need that many. I don't go through them fast enough. I don't travel like every other week to where like I constantly need mini versions. So yeah, I'm good with one and a small. And last is this Juno & Co. Moonshine Miracle Cream. It's just like a thicker moisturizer. I use this a lot in the winter time because I felt like it just gives me a really nice boost of hydration in like in a thicker way when my skin's drier in the colder months. I've had this for a few years though. I think it's probably just time to let this one go. And I'll be honest, last winter I didn't even use this one that much. I feel like I reached for other glowy and hydrating things. I just used more thicker moisturizers when I was doing my skincare. So I don't know, this one's just getting kind of old. It feels weird to hang on to it any longer. So I think I'm gonna let this one go too. It's literally probably been like 3 or 4 years. All right, so primers. We started out with what, 12? And now I have 7. So I decluttered 5. I think that's pretty good. I like cut that in half and I didn't even intend to. Let's move on to foundation now. So we have 7 foundations to talk about. Like I mentioned, I really do a good job not hoarding products in the complexion category. I just don't feel the need to. I think I've only added 1, maybe 2 new ones to the mix here. And I think I might just keep all of these if I'm being honest with you, just because I feel like I have a good variety and I feel like with the ones I have, I don't really need to try anything new. But let's just go over them. This is the Glossier Skin Tint. For the record, I do prefer a sheer to light coverage. I will go as far as medium if I'm feeling really extra, but for the most part, I like sheer to light coverage. I like just a nice glowy wash of skin tint on my skin. I don't typically go for full coverage. It's just too much for me. But the Glossier Skin Tint, this is super sheer. It's basically nothing, but I feel like it gives the skin just a really nice little boost of like satiny glow. It just makes my skin look a little more evened out. It looks a little bit better. I really enjoy this one. Also on the topic of skin tints, the Colourpop Pretty Fresh. Honestly, maybe I should get rid of this one. It's almost gone for 1, but for 2, I've had this particular bottle like probably 3 or 4 years. So maybe it's time to retire this one. I have other skin tints. I think I will let this one go. It's time. Also in the skin tint category, this is the Rare Beauty skin tint. I really, really enjoy this one. I specifically do like to mix a liquid highlighter with this one just to make it even more glowy, but it does just offer a really nice just wash of color on the skin. It gives a nice slight even outness. I feel like it builds up nicely if you wanted a little bit more coverage. This is pretty nice. My favorite of all time is the Urban Decay Stay Naked Hydromaniac Tinted Glow Hydrator. This is so good. This is like light to medium coverage. You can build it up if you're feeling fancy. I typically use just like a sheer wash of it. I don't even feel the need to mix this with liquid highlighter because I feel like it's pretty glowy on its own. This is by far my favorite foundation-y type product. Moving on, the Colorpop Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Hydrating Foundation. This is a little bit more of like a solid medium coverage. I'll keep this one around just for the days that I feel like I want to add a little bit more tint. This is actually a newer one. They replaced my older bottle recently, which was very nice. So this one's brand new, so I don't feel the need to declutter it at all. On the days that I want just slightly more coverage than my skin tints, this will be the one to go for. I feel like this has a pretty good natural satin finish. And again, I can just mix in a liquid highlighter if I want to sheer it out or add even more glow. Oh, the Bite Beauty Changemaker. This was my #1 favorite. I loved this. This brand doesn't even exist anymore. Honestly, this one's getting really, really low. And even though this was my favorite for a long time, I was using it recently and I still like it. I just don't love it as much as I used to, on top of the fact that it is getting kind of old. It's probably like 2, pushing 3 years old. It's almost gone. It's just not the one I'm reaching for anymore. So I think I'm just gonna let this one go too. I didn't realize how low it was getting until I grabbed it. There's barely anything in here. And last is the Huda Beauty Foundation Stick. I do like this stick foundation. I feel like this is a nice solid medium coverage. If I do less stripes of it, it'll be a little bit lighter. I could really build this up and probably make it close to full if I wanted to. But this is nice. I feel like it's a good just natural satin finish. On the days that I just, again, similar to the liquid Colorpop one, on days that I just want a little bit more coverage, maybe I will reach for this one. I like to have this option, so I'll keep this one around too. This one's still going pretty strong. Okay, so started with 7 of those. I decluttered 2 and now I have 5. I honestly didn't expect to declutter either of them, but the 2 I decluttered, I feel like it was just time. They were getting kind of old. I have makeup all over my hands. My goodness. Let's move on to concealer. All right, concealers. I have 6. I don't know when I gained 6. I honestly don't feel like I need this many concealers because I pretty much use the same ones all the time, but here we are. Let's just get started. First of all, the Rare Beauty Under Eye Brightener. This is just fantastic. This is on a different kind of applicator. It's on a little metal ball. It feels really cooling when you apply it. I use this every time I do my makeup. I've honestly even used this on days without concealer if I want just a little bit of something under the eyes, but I don't really feel like wearing makeup. This is just so nice. It gives a really nice brightness in a very natural way. It's so creamy and blendable. It's so lightweight. It doesn't really give a whole lot of coverage, but it does give a little something, kind of like the skin tint of concealer. It's really, really nice. I'm absolutely buying another one at the next Sephora sale because I'm getting kind of low. My favorite concealer, if you can't tell, it's almost gone. The Rare Beauty concealer is just my absolute favorite. I think this is so good. It's very creamy, very satiny. Again, it's super lightweight and blendable, kind of like a solid medium coverage. This is a really nice concealer. I'm definitely gonna keep this and keep scraping the edges of the tube. It's not that low yet, but I will scrape the edges of the tube of this concealer. This one's just so good. I think this is also my second tube of it. It's fantastic. Lately, I've been reaching for my Milk Makeup Future Fluid. This one's really nice. Kind of like a solid medium coverage as well. Has a nice little pointy doe foot so you can get in the little crevices really easy. Again, blends out really nice, kind of a good satin finish. It's not too matte or anything. I really like this one, so I'll keep it too. Colourpop Pretty Fresh Concealer. The name is totally rubbed off, but that's what this is. Again, just very creamy, very satiny. It blends super nice. Again, just probably a solid medium coverage, maybe built up to a full if you built up a good bit of it. I really like this one too. I think this is also my second tube, so I'll keep it as well. The Naked Quickie Concealer. I actually really like using this one by itself without any foundation. I can use the other ones without foundation too, but this one in particular, I really enjoy just without foundation. I can also wear it with foundation. But this one's nice. Again, medium coverage, kind of a satiny finish, not too matte. It does the job. It does it really well. I don't use the little brush that it came with. I just use a sponge usually, but it's a pretty nice one, so I'll keep this one too. And the one that I think I'm gonna declutter, the Lawless Conceal the Deal. Unfortunately, this one's just way too full coverage for me, way too matte. It's just not my favorite. It sits on my skin just in a way that I don't prefer. I don't prefer that full coverage matte look. I don't think it's a bad concealer. It blends nice. I just don't personally like the effect of it on my skin. So I'm gonna let this one go. And yeah, started with 6 concealers, decluttered 1. Now I have 5. So yeah, let's move on to setting powder now, which for some reason I have way too many of. All right, so we have 10 here. I have 2 more of these underneath. I'll get to that. Oh goodness. But we have 10 here total. I definitely want to get rid of at least like 3 or 4 of these. I have too many setting powders. I don't need this many setting powders. So let's just get started. Let's do my loose ones first, and then we'll get into my pressed. My current favorite loose one is the Glossier one. I think this is so good. This is the Wowder. It's just such a good powder. It's very finely milled, very lightweight, not too mattifying, but it sets me down really nicely. I think this is such a great powder. This is honestly my new favorite since the Milk Makeup Blur. I haven't had a favorite since the Milk Makeup Blur until I started using this one a couple months ago. It is so good. Speaking of Milk Makeup, this is their new powder. Definitely not the same as the Blur. I feel like this one's slightly maybe more mattifying. If I had to say, the Blur I don't feel like was as mattifying as this one. I'm still on the fence. Like, I don't think this one's bad. I don't think this one's bad. I don't like it as much as the Glossier, but I do think I like it more than the KVD one, the Locket, which I barely have any more of this left. It's okay. This one's just, I think this one's done. There's barely anything even in it, so I'm gonna declutter the KVD one. Milk Makeup one though, I think I will keep it around. I don't dislike this one. I do enjoy it. It's just, I think I had my hopes up thinking it would be the Blur again, and it's not. But I do still like it for what it is. And then we have the Huda Beauty powder. I still have quite a bit of this. I bought this a couple years ago, and I mean, it's still going strong. There's no weird smell. It still behaves fine. Not my #1 favorite, but it's not a bad one. So I'll keep this as well, because I am getting low on the Glossier one, and I don't want to have to repurchase it right away. So at least I'll have like 2 loose powder options. And we have pressed. This Lawless one, similar to the concealer. This just isn't for me. It's a little too thick. It's a little too matte. I do not like the way this one sits on my skin. I also actually don't think this one blends well. I just personally don't think this is a great product. It's just not for me. So yeah, I don't want this one. The Kosas one. I bought this one because I loved the texture of it when I swatched it in store at Sephora. I just thought it was very velvety, very lovely. This was before I discovered the Wowder, and I was on the hunt for my perfect setting powder, and I thought maybe this would be it. Unfortunately, I don't think it is. I felt like some days this worked really nice, but some days I would notice it kind of breaking up a little bit. It's like I loved it a lot at first. Like when I first started using it the first few weeks, I was like, this is my new favorite powder. And then like overnight, I like didn't like it anymore. So I don't think I want to keep this one. I haven't been compelled to use it. It's not my favorite. And then we have the NYX High Glass Finishing Powders. This is clearly the one that's used, so I'll show you this one. This was my favorite pressed powder for a long time because it leaves a really nice glow to the skin. It doesn't mattify you. It still keeps that glow going. I don't prefer this directly like under the eye setting concealer because it can look a little not crepey, just a little glossy, and I don't want glossy under eyes. Glossy everywhere else, but not under my eyes. But I did like to use this all around my face. However, I started just like not setting the rest of my face over the last year. Like I only set like my under eyes and right around my mouth. So I just haven't felt the need to pick this one up. And I have so many of them because I heard this was getting discontinued. It might be discontinued at this point. So I stockpiled it because I was like, well, I don't want to run out ever. I think I'm gonna keep these just so I can like be motivated to use them again. It's probably overkill to like keep all of these, but I bought them for a reason. I loved this powder. I just need to like find a way to use it again since I'm not setting my entire face. Like maybe I can keep using my loose powder for under the eyes, but maybe use this one for like my T-zone, you know? I think that's what I'll start doing because I need to like get use out of these because it was my favorite. I just kind of fell out of using it. I don't even dislike it. So I'll keep all of those. So we started with 10 and now I have 7, so we decluttered 3. I think that's pretty good. Let's move on to setting spray now. All right, again, here I am hoarding things. So my number one favorite is the Milk Makeup Hydro Grip. This is by far my favorite setting spray. I just love the Hydro Grip line. It's so good. I'm getting close to the end of this. I only have like a quarter left, so I'm definitely keeping this one, and I'm gonna keep the unopened one because it's just my number one favorite. And then I have this Rare Beauty one, a mini size of the Rare Beauty one, and the Colorpop one. Colorpop is about halfway gone. Rare Beauty I've only used a couple times at this point. I do like the Rare Beauty one, but I also like the Colorpop one. I think what I'll do is I will give away the small one. No, I should keep this for travel. I really should keep this for travel. I think I'm gonna declutter the Colorpop one. I do like the Colorpop one. I think it's a good setting spray, but if I had to pick, it's gonna be these. And this one I'm mostly keeping just for travel. And otherwise, like between these, like I'm set on setting spray for a long time, like possibly through a good portion of 2024. So if I run out by then without Milk Makeup sending me a restock, because they do that sometimes, I don't think I need to keep this one. So decluttering that one. And out of my 5 setting sprays, I decluttered 1, now I have 4. I'm gonna get my grand totals now and I will be back. All right, so finished the final tally. I started with 40 total products. I decluttered 12 and now I have 28 things. So I guess I reached my goal of cutting it down by a quarter. I feel like I have just a more curated, honed in idea of the things that I'm actually using and enjoying. The things that I'm decluttering are things that were either probably way too expired to keep, basically gone, so I might as well just get rid of it, or it just wasn't my favorite. So I'm happy with the things that I have. I feel like this was successful, maybe not super exciting declutter. But the complexion part of the declutter series is over. Lots more declutters to come in the future. Oh, I do have pictures for you though, because I know some of you like that. Here's a picture of the 40 items that I started with, all of the products for you to see. Here are the 12 things that I ended up decluttering for you nosy little garbage fiends. And here are the 28 things that I am keeping in my collection of complexion products. So I hope you enjoyed it. I would love to just hear what you're thinking. Let me know down below. Let's zoom out and finish this video up. Thank you so much for watching my video. I appreciate you so much for being here and joining the start of the Collection and Declutter series. I would love to hear what you're thinking. What did you think of the products I talked about today? Do you love any of them? Do you hate any of them? What are your current favorites in each of those categories? Foundation, concealer, primer, setting spray, setting powder, all of that good stuff. I would love to know your favorites. If you made it to the end of this video, leave some Halloween emojis because we're in October. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. It helps my channel out a lot. And if you're not already, you can follow me over on Instagram. I'm battybean over there as well. Also, feel free to subscribe if you haven't already. I'm posting every single day in the month of October. Also, feel free to join my channel memberships. The link to sign up will be down below. You'll get fun little perks, including a members only get ready with me once a month. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Okay, bye.